Hey everyone, so today I'm filming a high school advice video. This video has been requested so much because a lot of you I know are actually going into high school as freshmen and a lot of you are just still in high school, but I graduated this year as a senior, so I have a lot of advice to share. I actually made a list on my phone of just tips that I have to share with you guys, and then I let you guys ask some questions that you have about high school. I tweeted out to you guys to tweet me some questions, so I have a bunch of those too. And yeah, that's basically going to be this whole video, so let's just get into it. So the first thing I want to mention is that just know your first day of high school, freshman year, like starts your GPA that colleges will see. I don't know if that's really self-explanatory, and like most of you probably know that, but I did not know that freshman year. Like I didn't know going into it. So like freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year all averaged together is the GPA that colleges will see. So you want to make sure you're trying just as hard freshman year. Don't say it doesn't matter now, because it really does. The second thing I wrote down is try to be outgoing to everyone and don't let first impressions mean too much, because I know sometimes it's easy to just be friends with the people that you've always been friends with and kind of like be shy and feel awkward in front of new people, but you don't want to have any regrets, which is like a later tip that I have. You don't want to have any regrets when you leave high school, so definitely just try to be outgoing and like really nice to everyone, because you could also make friends that you never knew that you'd be friends with. Everyone's just as nervous as you are, especially like freshman year, so I would say just be really open to the different kind of people that you'll be friends with, and your friends will change like so much through high school, which I get into also. The third thing I wrote down is that freshman year was actually really fun. Like it was one of my favorite years, and although I was kind of a nerd and didn't have that many friends, it was still so much fun. Like I don't know, I just had a blast freshman year. Maybe it's because I didn't know that my GPA counted and I like didn't try that hard in school and was just focused on hanging out with my friends. And I had some friends like Corinne and Lucy. That was it. And I also wanted to say that you don't get shoved in a locker. Like, it won't happen, I promise you. Freshman year is not that bad. Anyone that's trying to tell you that it's bad is just trying to scare you. I promise, like, your safety is not something to worry about your freshman year. You will be fine. The fourth thing I wrote down is take fun classes that interest you, because I definitely would have taken some more fun classes if I had time in my schedule, or if I just had thought about it earlier in high school. I definitely would have taken like photography or like cinema, like cool classes like that, but instead I just did like Spanish and like other elective kind of things. But if you have time in your schedule to take like fun classes, I would do them now while they're free, because in college, of course, I can take like cinema or like photography if I want to, but in college, like you're paying for those classes, and like in high school, at least if you go to like a public school like I did, they're free, so like why not take them while you can. The fifth thing I wrote down is learn to prioritize and have good time management, because you're going to have things that come before others. Like if you have math homework and like history homework, you definitely have to do that before you go play video games. You have good time management, because if you're like me, you're up until like 5 in the morning doing homework and like editing videos and doing stuff that's really important. So try to plan out your time as best you can with like fun and important things, if that makes sense. The next thing I wrote down is you really don't want to leave high school with any regrets, because I don't have many like regrets, but there's definitely some things that I would have like changed, so I guess in that aspect I do. Definitely don't want to leave with any sort of regrets, because then you'll just like think about them a lot. So I think that if there's a guy that you think is really cute, or like a girl that you think is really popular or pretty and like out of your league, like friendship wise, or same thing with the guy if you think he's like out of your league, I would say just go for it, because you might think you have a lot to lose, but like in all honesty, you don't. High school is 4 years long, and I know it seems like the biggest deal ever when you're there, but like say like 5-10 years from now, you will barely remember anything. You'll remember probably the really good moments and the really bad moments. So I would say just go for it. Like the worst thing that can happen is they say no. You might be a little sad, a little heartbroken for a little while, but you'll get over it. Like it's not the end of the world, and half the time you could be surprised. Like I'm like, oh, they would never be friends with me, or like I'm not gonna waste my time talking to that guy at all. Like he would never like me. Like that was always me. I never thought Justin would like me. I probably thought he was cute like freshman year or something, but I would never even like admit to myself that I liked him, because I was too scared. So I would say just go for it. You won't see most of the kids in your high school again, which is kind of sad, but like if you go off to a different college, than most of the kids in your school, you probably won't see a lot of them again. So what they think, although in the moment kind of matters because you'll be spending time with them, in the long run it doesn't matter at all. Try to be on time as best you can, because then that shows your teachers that you care and just classmates and everything. So I would say, like, be on time to class, be on time to school. Being on time in general is just a good lesson for life, I would say. So yeah. Always stay after with teachers and ask for help, like, even if you're scared, because they seriously will love you. Like, stay after school, it means so much to a teacher if kids are staying after and asking for help, because they will help you and they'll help you out with topics that you're not so strong on. They'll know too, the kids that are staying after and they're helping, like, if their average for a quarter is an 89, they might bump you up that extra point to get an A, or like if you're trying really hard on a test and you don't do well, they might give you extra credit because they know that you're working at it. So I would say definitely, like, work with the teacher because they understand where you're coming from and they can help you a lot. My last tip is to have fun and try not to care too much, because I know high school can be really stressful and everything, but just try to have fun as best as you can and you will get through it, I promise. Then we'll move on to the Twitter questions I have from you guys. And one of the questions I have is, how did you make money in high school? So I've actually had like 3 different jobs kind of. One is YouTube, one is over the summer I lifeguard at like these pools outside near my house, and then another place that I lifeguard at is just the YMCA near my house. But also, if you guys are looking for a way to make money that's really easy and just online, it's this place called Opinion Outpost. And I know I've talked about it in maybe 1 or 2 videos before, but it's just this website where you can do surveys on things that companies want to know about. Like, it can be like new movies, new food, like stuff like that, and you can just give your opinions and get paid for them. So Opinion Outpost gave me this link that you can check out down below in the description box, and click on that if you are interested. This question says, do you look back on your freshman year and wish you could have done anything different? I probably, like I said earlier, I probably would have started trying harder in school earlier, because I didn't really know that colleges would be seeing my grades from the beginning of my freshman year. Next one says, how do you stay out of drama? And I would say just try to not involve yourself with people that are really dramatic or like attention seeking, like that kind of thing. This one says, how did you balance crew along with YouTube on top of school?
She didn't.
Basically, I didn't. It was really hard to balance crew with YouTube and school, just because crew would be like after school and then I would have to like put YouTube in there somewhere. So it's really hard, but I would say just try to like look at your schedule as best you can and like plan out your time, like I said earlier, like time management. This one says, what is your Snapchat name? It's Gretchen with 5 N's, in case you didn't know. This isn't really related. This one says, is freshman year really hard? And no, it wasn't. Honestly, like, it was not as hard as like sophomore or junior or senior year. Like, high school keeps getting harder obviously as you go on, so I really didn't struggle that much freshman year. I thought it was pretty easy, to be honest. This one says, out of all the years in high school, what was your hardest class to complete? And that was probably physics or chemistry, just because I remember studying so much in chemistry, and I'm actually taking it my fall semester as a freshman in college, so I know I'm going to struggle with that too. I'll probably have to get like tutors or something, because chemistry just for me is so hard. So yeah, I'm taking physics out of that. Physics wasn't as bad as chemistry. Chemistry is definitely the worst. This one says, how did you get recruited for rowing? And I think I'm just going to save this for my like rowing Q&A video, which I actually tried to film and my camera like wasn't working and it just didn't work out. And I know I tweeted out once, like, leave your questions down below, but I still haven't even filmed it. I'm really sorry. So can you like leave me a comment down below if it would be helpful for you guys if I filmed like a rowing Q&A video, and I'll answer like all your questions and everything. So just leave me a comment down below if you still want that. I'm really sorry. I know I've said I'd film it forever. This one says, did people make fun of you for doing your YouTube videos? And yes, they definitely did. I would say ever since people found out, like, people were always kind of making fun of me. Not really to my face, but more like behind my back. But I guess you just kind of have to ignore it. Anyone that has a YouTube channel that's watching this knows what I'm talking about. By the way, I tried to fishtail my hair today, but I'm really bad at it, so sorry if it looks all crazy. This one says, what was your experience with keeping a balanced schedule with school and your free time? Honestly, guys, it's really hard, and I'm not an expert at this. I would say I really like doing like homework assignments or like editing YouTube videos, and I like struggled with it a lot. And if any of you followed my Vlogmas throughout December, I didn't sleep all throughout December because I literally was up to like 4 AM every single night. I'm not kidding, editing that day's video and like trying to get up the one the night before. It was just really hard for me. So I would say just know your schedule, know your time, and know what you have to do and try to plan it the best that works for you. That would be my advice. I'm not the best at it. This one says, did you end high school with the same friends you started with? And no, definitely not. My friends changed a lot, so that will happen with you guys too, I'm sure. This one says, what was your thought on the first day of high school? I can tell you. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys, but every
year.
Every year on the first day of high school, I cried. I was probably sad because I ended up crying later and just nervous as can be. Like, I just always get so nervous on the first day of school because I have a really hard time coping with change. So I was probably really nervous and couldn't believe that it was the first day and that I had to be with all new people and everything. This will be the last one that I answer, and it says, do you feel judged by anyone because you did YouTube? And I kind of answered this before, like, yes, like, people will always have something to say, but if you're on YouTube, or even if you're not and people are like talking about you, I would just try to say, like, stay out of it as best you can. All that matters is that you're happy for yourself. So I can't stress enough, like, high school is only 4 years. You'll get through it, I promise, and what matters most is what comes after high school. So make sure academics are like the first thing, because that is what will prepare you for what comes after high school, and that's what will get you into like a good college. And if you haven't noticed, Justin has been watching me film this whole video, and the lighting has changed so much. Now the light's like over here and my face looks dark. So sorry if that's driving you crazy. And we're finally gonna end this video now. I'm sorry it's probably so long, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!